Over 50% of first-time homebuyers end up regretting their home purchase. Today, we're going to go through the top 5 biggest regrets that people have about buying their home and how you can avoid them with your home purchase. So let's get after it. Now let's take these regrets in order from the smallest regret to the biggest regret. So at number 5, we have location. This comes from regretting or having issues with your neighbors or the neighborhoods or the schools. So the way to avoid this is just in the planning, in the home shopping, and ideally you're working with an agent who will help guide you in this process. But you can tell that if a home is in a good school district, most likely the makeup of the neighborhood is probably going to be young families. If you're a young couple that may be intending to start a family, well then getting into a neighborhood where it is in a good school district and you're going to have other young families around you, that might be where you want to be. So location can be fixed just by taking your time in the process and not rushing on making an offer on a home. Get to know the area, spend some time in the neighborhood too, even before you decide to buy a home in that area. If you're targeting the neighborhood, go out, go to the restaurants, go to the events going on, and make yourself part of the neighborhood even before you buy a home in that area. Number 4, people regret the ongoing cost of owning a home. When you buy a home, you're gonna get your mortgage payment. You're gonna have your interest in there, you're gonna have your principal, you're gonna have your insurance, and you're gonna have property taxes. Now the thing about owning real estate is property taxes will go up from time to time. They don't always go up. They don't always go up enough that you're gonna see a change in your mortgage payment, but they can. So when we say you have a fixed payment, what you actually have is a fixed rate. And your payment won't change all the time. My personal thing was after I got the townhome that I own, I did have my payment and it's gone up once in 5 years. So your mortgage payment can in fact change and will increase, probably due to an increase in taxes or an increase even in insurance. The other cost associated with homes that people don't like dealing with is the maintenance cost. But you can prepare for this. Typically what I like to have my clients do is when we go look at a home, get the age of certain systems like the AC unit, the furnace. You can get the age of even the appliances if they're gonna stay with the property. What you can do is take the age of that, how many useful years you have left in that. Let's say the AC will last 15 years, but it's already 10 years old. Take the cost of a new one and divide it by the 5 years you have left. And this will allow you to have an idea of what you need to put away every month for the eventual cost of having to replace that unit. So you gotta really sit down, not only come up with a budget of buying a home, but then do some math on the home you're actually looking to buy and all of the appliances, all of the major systems of the house. You can do this with the roof too. The roof might cost $20,000, but if it lasts 20 years and you've got a seller telling you it's only 5 years old, you have 15 years to save up for that. So do that math, lay it out, and see if that all what you'd have to put away every month, if that fits into your monthly budget. Biggest thing when going in and making an offer on a home is not to get emotionally invested in that home. There's always another property, and just because you don't get that one doesn't mean it's the end of the road for you. It just means that wasn't meant to be your home. Number 3, home buyers end up regretting or feeling like they overpaid for their home. Now, a way to avoid this is, again, you need to set a budget. Your lender, when you talk to them, will approve you for however much you can afford, however much they think you can afford. That number probably isn't the number you should be shooting for. You should probably stay under that. The other thing that home buyers say is they'll say, oh, I could have bought this home a lot less. And that's probably true. You could have bought it a lot less if you bought it 6 months or a year earlier. If you've been looking at homes on Zillow for a while, I look at them all the time, and you go into a neighborhood and you look at what they were a year ago, and you look at what they are now, I guarantee you the prices have probably gone up. You can have always bought it cheaper. The important thing to recognize from that is that you can't try and time it. You can't time the market. You can't be, oh, I'm waiting for rates to drop. I'm waiting for prices to come down. They might, but real estate trends upward almost in every market. So if you've gone over your budget and you're ready to purchase a home, don't wait. Go after it. Just stay on your budget. People make a mistake and they fall in love with the home and they end up wanting to overpay for it. So remember, keep emotions out of it. Another regret people have is that they feel they bought a house that was too small for them. Now this takes you going through a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and knowing what you want. If you're a young couple, buying a 2-bed, 1-bath might be great right now, but if you intend on starting a family, that might be an issue down the road to only have 2 beds and 1 bath. I got a 3-bed, 2-bath house, and my wife and I felt we outgrew it when we got a dog. So you have to plan out what you see for your life. Now, you can buy your first home and plan on selling in 5 years, and that's fine. Understand that real estate is a long-term investment at any given point, so be prepared to cover those costs for however 5 years, 10 years that you need to. But if your plan is to turn that into a second home or your next home that's bigger, that's fine. You might want to look at buying fixtures. You might want to look at buying something not quite what you're after in order to have something that as an investment is going to get you that second home. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I bought my first home and it turned into my forever home. And that's great, but there's 2 reasons that happened. One is they bought it and it always fit their needs and they didn't feel like they had to move. Maybe it got a little tight, but they could live with it. The bad reason that happens is that you could feel financially stuck. Maybe the homes around you feel are too expensive. Maybe you didn't budget correctly on this one and you put a lot into it that you shouldn't have. So there's planning that needs to be done before you purchase your home and understanding where you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, because real estate, whether it's your primary residence or an investment, it's a long-term investment. The number one thing that home buyers regret is the condition of the property. Buying something that needs a lot of maintenance or needs a lot of repairs when they purchase it. This comes down to understanding what your negotiating power is and not getting emotionally invested in the house. In our contract, when we write it up, we can write in a inspection contingency where the inspector will come through and sort of note any issues that he spots with the property. A lot of people, especially when it's a seller's market and they're competing against other bids, in order to make the offer seem better to the seller, they will waive that contingency. You don't want to do this. There's no reason to do this. I've never seen an offer where someone was waiving a contingency versus someone asking for the 7 days to have an inspection done be an issue. If they don't like the house after the inspection, walk away and it's fine. So don't ever feel like you need to let that go. Always put it into the contract. Once the inspection is done, this also gives you negotiating power. Let's say he finds something big where you can now turn that and go back to the seller and ask for 1, either a lower price for the home, or 2, ask for a credit towards that repair. If the roof is bad, have them pay for it. Whether it's lowering the price, giving you a credit, however it works out, there's ways that having that inspection actually gives you a little more control and power in negotiating. And it protects you from having this regret down the road. You don't want to be sitting in the house and a leak opens up in the roof and all of a sudden you are upset with your purchase that you didn't do that. Always know what you're getting into before you sign on the dotted line. Well, I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe down below. And if you have any questions about home buying, please leave a comment below. See you next time.